Hi, you're welcome to Success Tips. This video conveys the episode 5 of the Entrepreneurship series where we are going to be discussing about business premise management. Business premise management in this context refers to all the activities revolving around the selection, overseeing, and then maintaining physical space where business operates, ensuring its safety, functionality, and compliance to legal and regulatory requirements. All businesses, irrespective of the industries and the nature of their products, requires a physical office space or requires a physical premises which shall be tagged as its own official address. Without a business premise, there's a limit to a business transaction which you can be able to conduct. One of the areas which businesses make a lot of mistakes is around the issue of premise management. Failure from effective premise management has led a lot of businesses to run out of business, and most of those failures, comes from preventable issues. We will be looking closely at the different aspects of business premise management, including the key aspects that most businesses, ignore and then later comes back haunting them. I'm sure you will appreciate this episode and also the subject of premise management as it pertains to your business success. Now let's take a look at the 6 aspects of the business premise management. The first aspect of business premise management is accessibility to clients. The closeness of a business premises to a client contributes more than 50% of the reasons why a client patronizes that business. If you look around the world, you will see different businesses open different branches of their businesses, all with the aim of bringing their premises or business premises closer to their own prospective clients or clients. And of course, you know what that means. It leads to an increased number of clients and also an increased revenue to that business. I'm sure all of you watching me on this episode must have seen a situation whereby a client goes to a nearby shop and then purchases a product with even higher amount, not because they don't need a discount, not because they don't want to buy it cheaper, but because they find convenience, in purchasing products and services, in businesses that are more closer to them. There's this convenience that a client gets when a product and services is closer to him or her, okay? And it's very important for you to consider this when you are talking of premise management, the accessibility of your businesses, your service and your products to your own clients. The second aspect of business premise management is the safety and security of your own business. Different kind of businesses, have different factors that need to be considered when trying to, source for a premises for that business. If you are trying to set up a production unit for a pharmaceutical company, for instance, the last place you should be considering is, a place near a cement factory, because cement factory is associated with a lot of dust, and that can be harmful, to the products that pharmaceutical company is going to produce, and of course, it's going to lead to, a poor safety of that particular product. If you want to locate a place for your music production studio, for instance, the last place you should be having in mind is, a place located to a busy airport that, is covered with sounds of airplanes, taking off and then airplanes landing, because that's gonna disturb your music production studio. Is your music production company gonna be safe in that kind of area? No. If you are trying to set up a bank, for instance, the last place that should be running through your mind is an isolated area where thieves, can easily break into and then steal. Why? Because the safety of a bank is not guaranteed in such kind of area. You want to build an oil refinery, for instance, the last place you should be thinking of is a place located around a rocket station, because you're going to be at a very high risk of fire outbreak. When you look at the different scenarios narrated earlier, you will understand that the safety and security of a place is an important thing to look at when you are trying to look at the subject of business premise management. In addition to all those scenarios, how safe and strong the building is also an important aspect of safety and security of a business premise. A business premise, among others, should be strong enough to be able to protect the business from unauthorized access. When you watch the news and then you see the different cases of theft and robbery around businesses, then you will see the importance of considering safety and security when it comes to the subject of business premise management. The third aspect of business premise management is ownership and leasing agreement documents. Many businesses get caught in an unexpected nightmare due to these very aspects. Now let's get this straight. Your business premises can either be, a premise that is owned by your own business, or a premise that is being rented by your own business from another supplier. Now, these two different analogies of business premises, have their own aspects, of management approach. Now, if your business is to permanently own its own premises, then the first thing you need to do is to ensure that that premise is being purchased from a genuine source. We live in a very corrupt world where people can come and sell illegal land and properties. It's very important for your business, to do its due diligence, before acquiring any premise. Okay, so it's important you have your own lawyer or your legal advisor to be in the full picture of any acquisition of any premise or properties that your business is going to make. And you should ensure that your business acquire all the documentations and all the legal, things that need to bind the ownership of that property or that land. Now, for the aspect of a rented business premise, it's important for you to know that when your business is just coming up, then everybody is going to be open to support you. And the moment your business takes a different turn and then it's becoming bigger, then most of the people are going to turn their back at you, and your landlord is not an exception to this possibility. Most of the strategies that has been used by landlords, to frustrate businesses who are doing well, is an increment, an exorbitant increment of the rental fee. They can just wake up from nowhere and then double your rental fee just to frustrate you out of that premises, simply because your business is doing very well. Or they can come directly demanding for them to leave their own premises because they want to use it, okay? Because they see that your business is flourishing, and then they see that you are making off a great living from that premise, with your business, and then the next thing is that they will look for a way to kick you out of that premises. This has happened to many businesses, including the famous Walmart that we know today. And such scenarios leaves a business with a very strong setback. I'm sure as a business owner, this will be the last thing you will want to happen to your own business. To protect your business against such incidents as it pertains to business premise management is for you as an entrepreneur to consider leasing a business premises for years, depending on your own financial viability. This will help your business to have a strong stability and will also protect your business against unexpected, rental increment, and then chase out of premises. Your legal team need to be on top of their game on this very approach. Also, in addition to that, it is very important for you to always try to pay your rental fee or renew your rental fee, a year or two before the existing current paid rent, expires. That will buy you more time, in a situation where your landlord, decides to take a different decision against your own business operation. And believe me when I tell you that this very approach can save your business from a very serious disaster. Now, the fourth aspect of business premise management is facility maintenance and repair. A well-maintained premise can save you from costly loss and damages. Facility maintenance and repair ranging from the fittings, the building, the roofing, the walls, the doors, the infrastructure is a key aspect of premise management when it comes to your business premises. I have seen a company who's a distribution store, with inventories worth more than $100 million got flooded after a heavy rainfall, and that happened only because of a simple repair on the roof that could have costed nothing more than $50,000. Poor property maintenance and repair can be as costly as that. For you to effectively manage your business premises, you need to take the subject of repair and maintenance very seriously. Now, the fifth aspect of business premise management is emergency management. There is never a business premises that is immune, to disaster like, fire outbreaks, and other unforeseen disasters. It is important to have equipments like fire extinguishers in your business premises. It's important to plan for emergency exit doors, a power backup source in a case of main power failure, especially when it happens in the middle of an important business operation. It is very important to have a fallback option in a case of unforeseen incidents and events. This may sound so casual to you until your business faces a situation, that can be preventable, but then lands your business in a very serious disaster. It is then you'll understand the importance of an emergency prepositioning in your own business premise management. In addition to all of such precautionary measures, it is also very important for you to register your business with, an insurance company, so that in case things fall apart and then gets out of your control, then you will still be protected. With that, your company will have a very significant protection against unforeseen situations and circumstances. The last aspect of business premise management is cost and budgeting management. It is no longer news to you as an entrepreneur that whatever you do in your own business requires finances. Think of all the aspects of premise management we have explained earlier. They require finance before you can be able to effectively run them. It is important for you to note that whatever plan you have with regards to your business premise management, you should plan for it, you should have a proper budgeting for it. Having your cost and budget under control is one important key aspect when it comes to business premise management, as that will help you to make informed decisions, in your business. Your funding availability and your important business operational needs should be able to guide, your cost planning and budgeting, for your business premises. And with all that put together, you will be on the right path, to having an effective business premise management. I hope you have learned a lot in this episode, and I hope you are going to make use of all the knowledge you have gotten from this episode, to build your business to a greater height. In the next episode, we will be discussing about business expansion. Okay, so if this was your first time on this YouTube channel, I will want you to click on the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so that when the next episode comes up, you will be notified. And if you're a returning viewer, I would love to say thank you. I will need just one favor from you. Please share this video with just one person. Thank you, and see you guys in another episode. Bye.